Welcome, my beautiful Mzansi Voice viewers. Let us welcome you again on another yet episode of the Green Table podcast. And he's back again by popular demand. We decided to bring him back. Ndate, Pastor, Radio Extraordinaire, Comrade, Viva, Alex Khanok. Sir, how are you today?
No. Obviously, no, I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's good to be here again.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful. I'm very honored to be part of the Green Table again.
Yes.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
No, we decided to bring you back. Like, it's been a while. So we're like, no, let's bring him back. Let's have a discussion. Let's just sit down and talk, discuss issues that are happening currently. And we are honored for you to have accepted our invitation to be here today. Yeah. There's so many things happening in our country right now that I want us to talk about. The biggest that's coming out right now, it's that one from Gauteng Hospital. So what happened is apparently this lady gave birth to like a normal birth, and she was shown her baby, which was a female newborn, by the nurse who was helping at the time. And then the baby was taken away. Maybe procedures, we don't know the procedures. And then later on, the nurse came back, now alone without the baby, to say, please call your relatives and inform them that your baby is no more, you know. And the lady went on and called her sister. The sister came, then to prepare for the undertaker. The baby was taken away, and then. So now, on the day of the burial, I think on Friday, they're going to identify the body, of which they were showing half body with just the tag of the name of, and that it's the mother's name. But they weren't showing the whole body, something like, I don't understand. Now, Saturday, which is the day of the burial, now they have to go and dress the child. Now, when they get there, only to find that the child in the mortuary is a baby boy. But remember, she was shown by the nurse after giving birth a baby girl. So now there's something that is not clear now. What happened to that particular child, or like what is happening? What is happening with our healthcare system? Is it a case of negligence? Is it a case of, because I think mostly we see it abroad where nurses or couples who have money who can have children buy newborns from nurses and. So do you think this is just a case of negligence in our South African healthcare system, or it could be one of those that maybe somewhere somehow there's an underground something that's being pushed by the nurses and something based on this story?
Honestly, let me just be honest to you and say this is a very sensitive story. One, it's very emotional too, because somebody has lost a baby and they must go through emotional pain and everything, and all of a sudden this kind of jokes they happened. It's painful, because these things they happen only in our black communities. It doesn't happen to other. You know, you ask yourself, is it because of we are a working class that is, it's not affording in terms of legal, battles and all that? It's not a first story that we hear about such department, the Department of Health. If you can check how many people, how many lawyers who are suing them because of that. I don't want to talk about the government as a whole, your subs, your many departments, but we can just talk about only health. Health, it has so much, billions that it must pay people because of such kind of actions that are happening in our hospitals. We'll understand. One might say they are short of staff, because the department they don't want to hire. It's also one of the factors that may react or go through the mind of the nurses. We must understand that they're under pressure. Don't forget that we've been facing COVID-19 and everything. We lost so many nurses, and we did not hear that they are hiring other nurses, meaning these people are short-staffed. Number two, they are working so hard, many hours and everything. That may be one of the factor that causes this. In terms of the element of crime, we don't see this law enforcement agency coming in on board in terms of investigations. A lot of things are happening in the Department of Health, but we don't see this investigation going further, to investigate thoroughly, to make sure what kind of cartel or crimes that are taking over to this hospital. It's just a case of a family and a department. And sometimes the family will appoint a lawyer, it just ends there. But I think departments like law enforcement subs, you're the hawks, they should come in on board and investigate these things, because now if somebody has died, it's a serious issue. That's another element. The third element, it's the resources in the Department of Health. You will find nobody that is asking how many beds do we have in surgical ward. How many beds do we have in ICU? Resources to work in the department. They were protesting. We know the unions, they were fighting about the resources and everything. It's a lot of crisis. Now, I'm afraid to classify it as a crime or as a cartel, that these people, they do whatever they do and they sell babies. But I'm saying in three terms, they should check the resources, they should check the staff, they should put law enforcement agencies to be part of this, to make sure that we are safe. You can ask yourself, how many babies will die? And how many babies will disappear? For how long? That's the issue. It's not only on top of it. This is just an iceberg. But there's a lot of things that are happening. Now, you ask yourself, if a young woman, she's pregnant, and she must give birth in Sibuking, they're scared. And we can imagine if you go psychologically affected to have a baby, what's going to happen? There might be so a lot of complications and everything. And we know that there's no bed in Sibuking. Some of pregnant women, they are standing there, and others, they are going through emergencies, and there's no beds, and there's nothing. It's a chaos. It's a chaos. We've been talking about these things. We've been meeting the CEO of Sibuking Hospital. It's not only Sibuking. Paraguanath, I was watching news, I think it's 5 days ago. They were talking about the very serious case of the babies, that I don't know, in a year they lose how many babies in terms of negligence and what. Analysts, they were talking about, it's not negligence, it's what they're trying to explain. But in the process, babies are dying in this country.
I just asked a simple question, but that Alex decided to take out all his investigative journalism skills, everything. Me, I just wanted to talk about the story. Now he's diving deep into this issue. Yeah. And I mean, it's good to know that with all your experience in terms of being a journalist, that you can come up with many aspects of what could really be happening, nurses being under pressure, and we shouldn't just look at from one angle to say maybe it's the nurses, maybe it's the pressure, maybe it's the, like you said, the unions were striking not so long ago about pays.
Yeah.
So those things can contribute in the mind of the workers themselves, just to say, let's do what. But we'll I think with your help we'll still follow up the story and see if the mother will at the end of the day get clarity or closure in terms of what happened to her baby. Yeah.
But now the truth must be told. She must have a baby back.
Definitely.
You ask yourself a question, where is the baby?
And that says there's a possibility that there are two families now. Maybe there's the other family whom the boy belongs to. Also maybe could possibly be they buried the wrong person. So there's a chance that there are two families involved now.
Remember when I saw Hore, these other families, they're afraid to take care of their dead people.
Yeah.
They will ask the undertaker staff to say, guys, we're going to pay you this much. Please, can you just prepare our family because we're scared. This family, at least, they're still traditional.
Yeah.
Traditional people, they still wash their own family members
Yeah.
to check it's this our person.
Yeah.
Checking the scars and everything. This was a natural death,
Yeah.
but why is the blood out? What is
Yeah.
others? You might find the other family. They just ask the family to say, just prepare the baby for us, and then we'll put it, and then we'll give a decent family. Decent funeral. That's it.
Yeah.
So we don't know. We're living in circumstances where it's very bad. Also, you ask yourself, do nurses go to counseling? How many times in a year? Do they use their own money to go, or the department is taking care of them because of the trauma and everything that they are going through? There's a lot of things that are happening.
Nurses, please help us. Is there counseling offered to you by the government, or let's get the conversation going to know if is there counseling for you guys? And also, probably seeing the amount of loadshedding that we have now, like stage 8, probably when she was supposed to take the baby to the undertaker, it was loadshedding, it was dark, so...
It might happen. No, honestly, it might happen. Or you might find it was 6 to 7, dead babies, and she does not know which one to take and everything. Others, they might say, but there's a tag.
Yeah. But it's load shedding.
But that tag, it might happen because human error.
Yeah.
They are written by a person.
Yeah.
Those tags.
Yeah.
So you may not say automatically it's the machine
Yeah.
that says this baby belongs to who, this baby belongs to who. It's a human being that says this baby belongs to so and so.
Yeah. And speaking of load shedding, we saw our Minister of Electricity. Did you see him when he was addressing the legislature?
I was a bit busy, but there and there, there and there.
Yeah, I mean, you did it. It's good that you did it, because all you can hear from there. What did Madisha say that other time? You could only hear hong, 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 hong. I mean, I know he's qualified.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has the right qualifications to be in that space. But if you are called to explain to us how are you going to help us solve load shedding, I mean, we need layman terms. But now he was busy talking about 100 watts into the what. I don't even know those machines. And I think most of our MPs in the legislature also don't know about that. So for me, I felt like he didn't address anything, because they ask a question, then you explain it with deep dive terms that only need another electrician. Talking about deep terms about electricity, of which he didn't speak about how is he going to solve them. It's just that no, this megawatts cannot be met by that megawatts, by that power station, because it doesn't have electrolytes. I don't know if electrolytes are late ESCOM or whatever. So I don't know. I don't see any future or hope that we have a Minister of Electricity based on what he said, because I didn't feel like he's addressing the questions that he was that were posed to him, except the jargon that he was basically saying.
I will tell you, one, the minister is a politician.
Yeah.
That's number one. Politicians, if they don't have an answer, they will give you political statement in political terms. That's one. What he talked about yesterday, it was a technical answers.
Definitely.
People, they don't know the technicalities of ESCOM.
Yes.
They want a solution. Minister, when are we going to permanent stage 3? For how long?
Yes.
And then when are we going to stage 2? For how long? Stage 1? For how long? And then when do we see the disappearance of load shedding? It's all we want. I'm clued up myself with electrical carrier or whatever, electrical technicalities. I just want to know, when are we coming out to this load shedding? Now, if you are talking technicalities, those things you must talk to the meetings of ESCOM staff, people who understand the language,
Exactly.
people who understand this kind of mechanism and all that.
Those
We don't know, we don't
engineers,
understand that.
Yeah.
You must tell us the solution. Now, if you become technical to us, you are saying you are failing, or you are buying time until you find out what is the problem. Meaning, at the moment, you don't know what is happening. At the moment, you don't have a direct answer to give it to us. Now, only thing that is going to help you, because what is confusing me also is that they are quick to go to media. They are quick to make press conferences. but they don't have solutions. They don't have answers. My advice would be, get your facts straight, do your work right, and then call the press conference and give us the answers. Because now to go frequently on on TV, radio stations, but at the end of the day you will be telling us about technicality. To me, it doesn't make sense.
He hasn't said anything to us except that underneath, ESCOM has now pushed us to stage 8. I think stage 8 or stage 9 or stage 10. Probably if you look at it in terms of counting the hours in a particular day, you'd find that almost 10 hours without electricity.
And it was less before he came in.
Yeah.
We couldn't face this. Now it's more, but he's there. He's the minister, he has the staff, he has the whole department to him, and there's so much taxpayers' money that is going in. You ask yourself, what is going in? What is going on exactly? And now you ask yourself, the president appointed him. What does he report to the president? And when is the president will come to us and says, I appointed the Minister of Electricity, now there's improvement. We don't have a time frame. Things like that. We don't know it's going to be the end of they said end of this year? I don't know, but they said end of this year. And next year, about 2024, we won't see loadshedding.
The funny thing the funny thing that happened is, I think, like you said, they always go to the media. I think last week, he came to the media and said, no, loadshedding would be minimum to stage 3.
Yeah.
That time, then the following week, it boom went to stage 8.
Yeah.
So what does that say? Because now you come and tell us it's exactly what you're saying, that he's quick to go to the media. He says, we'll in the meantime stay at stage 3.
Yeah.
Boom, next week stage 8. What does that say? Is he in control of this ministry, so to say?
I don't think so, because I don't know, is this political party organization or non-profit organization that took them to court in terms of Department of Health and schools and everything. I heard that Minister Pravin Gauteng is going to appeal that judgment, that they must examine schools and this government department, the vital departments, that they must not be affected by load shedding. I don't know how it's going to happen, because around these schools there's community members, there's houses that are linked to these hospitals, that are linked to these clinics, that are linked to these schools. Now, if load shedding, as the judgment came through the Department of Justice, how it's going to work?
But before you go there, I want to go back to the question that we just posed ourselves.
Yeah.
Is Dr. Ramokgopa in charge of this electricity? Because now there's a judgment based on load shedding where it should affect us not. Why is it responded to by Minister Pravin, not Mr. Ramokgopa, who is in charge of electricity? Because that case was based on load shedding, not public enterprises. So why is that being responded to by Pravin and not Dr. Ramokgopa?
Maybe I will be honest to you.
Yeah.
The Department of Ntate Kwedemantashe and the Department of Pravin Gauteng and then Ntate Ramokgopa, we don't know who's doing what. Because we know that Ntate Pravin is the Minister of Enterprises. Yes.
Yeah.
And this one is okay, 3 ministers.
Yeah.
I don't think they understand their duties themselves.
Yeah.
What more about us?
Because this case is against load shedding.
Yeah.
But the Minister of Public Enterprises responds.
Yeah.
Why not the Minister of Electricity? Because he's the one in charge in terms of load shedding and electricity.
I don't know the dynamics. I don't know. Maybe they will explain the dynamics and the fine lines of the responsibilities in terms of the departments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
we don't understand who's doing what. Because Ramokgopa is the one that is doing. But now he has a build-up that is backing up for him if he gets the attack. So we don't know how it works. And then I don't know that, are we going to know who's in charge of what until which certain limits that you are in charge from here to here, you are in charge from here to here, and do these 3 ministers communicate? Or everyone says, this is my department, this is my department. I have my own budget, I have my own legal team and everything. I don't know. Maybe Ramokgopa does not have a legal team to respond. It's only Pravin. I just assume. I don't know.
I know. This one is...
it's how it is.
But do you see any light in terms of load shedding being reduced? anytime soon?
Look, South Africa is under challenge. A challenge of an energy crisis. White monopoly capital, let me say the multinationals, your big people from Europe, they have an interest of bringing your solar system, whatever energy that they might bring. Now, they wouldn't be happy if we can control ESCOM and put it under control. In my belief, I believe that we can control ESCOM. But now, because of the investment of the other countries, and the multinational that they want to make profits, they want to make money, I don't think it's going to be simple for us. Because those people, they're also looking for a space to make profit out of this challenge. Yes. I don't think it's going to be simple. And I don't think it made itself, this crisis of opportunity. It was made for a reason. That it must open the space for the multinationals to come and make money or to make profit. It's my opinion. Yeah.
And speaking of multinationals and these big corporations and wide monopoly capital, I think the story that's come back now, it's the case, Mr. Makate against Vodacom for the Please Call Me saga. I think it's back at the Supreme Court now. And it has been ongoing for 15 years now, starting from 2008, where he's claiming rights upon the invention of the Please Call Me. And you look at a big multinational company like Vodacom, mere fact that this particular individual, I don't know if we would classify because of his skin color or just Vodacom doesn't want to pay, but the case has dragged for almost 15 years now. I think the last time Vodacom wanted to pay him 47 million. And then the High Court ruled that they should pay him 5% of revenue that they created since the inception or the creation of Please Call Me, which now rounds about to 9 billion, if I read correctly. And now Vodacom is still disputing that. They say, oh, the only thing that we can pay for this that Magat is only 47 million. So do you think is it so hard for them to pay based on based on the skin color, or based on he's an individual, or based on the fact that maybe Vodacom is not benefiting as much as we think on the Please Call Me invention?
It's a very difficult question, and it's very complicated. Here, I don't want to put it in terms of the race or the color. We talked about the multinationals. We talked about let me simplify. Let's talk about capitalist system.
Yes.
Capitalist system, it's those who are financially stable or established against those who does not have money. Let me make an example. You work for a company for 30 years. They must give you a certain amount of money. They know you don't have money currently. And they are rich. They might drop you when you try to go to court. They take you to High Court. They drag the case because they have money. They have resources. They are trying to frustrate you. How many black businesses, how many working class businesses that have been destroyed by these multinationals? Because they know very well that these people, they don't have legal money. They don't have legal fees. They don't have lawyers. They don't have money to pay lawyers. And then while they drag you in High Court, they strain you financially until you succumb to their money, to their offer, I mean. Now, this guy deserves to get his money.
Yes.
But now, he's fighting against the giant. And then now, these guys, they're dragging this for 15 years. They still refuse. Let's make an example. Do a crime. No. Let me be politically honest. Because now this is interesting.
Yes.
There was, I don't know what the term they call it, looting. Do you see now, if you can try to come each and every single mall, come close to a mall, the state will be on your case. The state, before these companies stand for themselves, the state will be
there.
Law enforcement, that will be there. But if it happens the other way around, if a mall or a big business, it's undermining or enslaving a person, there's no state that is involved there.
Because I haven't seen our government really being behind Mr. Makati.
Now, they will tell you the processes. Go to public protector. Public protector is there. Is one of the organ of the state. Is one of the Chapter 9 institution.
Yeah.
Go there. Go to Human Rights Commission. If public protector didn't help you, go to Human Rights. If Human Rights they didn't, go to. They would give it to you. You know. I will make an example. You are accused of a crime.
Yeah.
You don't have money to appoint good lawyers. They will tell you go to legal aid. Legal aid to fight for what?
Yeah.
Let's say you're fighting such companies like Vodacom.
Yeah.
Can you stand to fight Vodacom with a legal aid lawyer?
You cannot. Yeah.
It's how it is.
Yeah.
Now the guy is alone, fighting a giant, and everybody can see. Now, we hope for the best that they give him his money. But it's going to take time. He's going to... And you can ask yourself, how much money did he lost during 15 years to fight for this 47 million?
I think looking at it only
Yeah.
based on his legal fees, I think now they approximate that 47 million. So obviously if he takes the deal, it's good as nothing because now he has to pay those lawyers because now they are saying, let's do this work pro bono. We track it. If you accept 47, it's our fee.
Yes.
So, and that's what they want. They
But
want
if
you
it-
to
but-
let try.
But if it was somebody else now, somewhere there and there it comes with racism. But if it was a white boy inventing this, they were going to pay him and make him a hero.
Yeah.
He's a hero. He
Yeah.
invented something.
He
big.
invented something.
But everything that's invented by black people, you must not benefit to it. You must not eat the fruits of it. Then you must be struggling. Now the enslaving, it's gonna end or what? You ask yourself.
I think, like you said, if it was somebody else, maybe a white person,
They would embrace it.
We would know that this call me is invented by.
Yes, yes.
This call me by.
Yes.
By so and so
Yes.
by so.
Yes.
Now we didn't even know it was invented by him
Yes.
until he went to court to say, this is my invention. This is the records that I have to say, this is invented by me. At first they were saying, no, it's not. This thing already existed, blah, 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 blah. Then he went step by step to say, this is my baby. I invented this thing. And even they don't just want to acknowledge him just by money. Not even royalties. Give me
Let me tell you, Green Table and the viewers of Green Table and Mzansi Voice, they must know this statement. That's why such statement and utterance that says economical transformation in our lifetime, it's vital, it's important.
Yeah.
That's why each and every single organization, every single person that comes up with an idea of economical freedom in our lifetime, they've been attacked, they've been destroyed. Because you cannot talk about that.
Yeah.
You know, work if you work, but don't talk about economy.
Yeah.
Economy is in the right hands. We don't need to shade.
Yeah.
Land, it's in the right hand. We don't have to shade. You know, do whatever you do, but don't talk about economy. Don't talk about land. Talk about your freedom, political freedom. Talk about your entertainment freedom. Yeah, entertainment, acting, and whatever. Do whatever you do.
Yeah.
Don't talk about economy. Don't talk about land.
Yeah.
Now, if you talk about those billions of that young man that needs, it's billions. It's
Billions.
economy.
Yeah.
And the multinationals, the capitalists.
Yeah.
If you give a black man 9 billion or 10 billion, he will develop other black people. We
Yes.
don't want that.
That's not what
These
they want.
people, we don't want to make them rich. We want them to work,
Mm.
not invent,
Yeah.
not to create, not to come up with technology.
Yeah.
Technology, they must take technology from us, not them giving us technology. I don't want to go to politics deeper because now I'm going to end up going deeper.
Yeah, but speaking of economical transformation,
Yeah.
now remember that you get to the next point where we saw the new party formed, ARETA, which says it stands for Economical Transformation. This week where we saw the president of ARETA going to Ngandla to meet the former president of South Africa, Mr. Jacob Zuma. So my thinking is, I think also the former president was also advocating for economical transformation. And I think last week we also saw a transition from Mr. Mani from ATM to EFF, a shift.
Mhm.
Is this visit saying the old man is behind what Arata is doing, or is it saying, is it showing us change that he's also advocating for that economical transformation that is being offered by this new party, by Mr. Kalnias?
Very difficult question and very complicated, but I will respond it with my analysis. It does not matter who brings the message.
Yeah.
As long as we have a political ideology,
Yeah.
meaning former President Jacob Zuma is very intelligent, he's very wise. I respect the man, though he's getting old now, but I respect him.
Yes.
He knows that EFF is advocating for land. And one of their pillars in the EFF is economical transformation in our lifetime. Now that's why he gives them the space to talk to them, because they speak one language in terms of their political ideology.
Yes.
Now Areta, it's going there, it's speaking the very same language. Now I think that's why he's giving them the space and the room to listen to them and to support them.
Yes.
Because he believes that we as a country, we didn't support him. Though also the former president, he did come up with that ideology later on his term. It's another problem, you know, because it gives so many questions. If you believe to something, you talk about it when you begin. Now,
from the start.
not after 6 years, not after 7 years, at the later, you know, years of your term, you begin to talk about. But let's leave it. Let's come to this now. He wants to support it. Everyone that speaks his language, he supports them. I believe, it's my analysis, that's why Jacob Zuma is supporting Areta, that's why he's supporting the EFF. Otherwise, Mani will go to which party, other than the EFF, that speaks the language of Jacob Zuma.
Yeah. There's no other party.
There's no other party, because I did interview the former chairperson, the president, the former president of COSATU. Is it, what is his name? But his name is Dlamini. I forgot his name, but it's Dlamini.
Yeah.
The former is chairperson or secretary of COSATU.
Yeah.
I asked him one question in Teta FM show that I'm doing, the political show that I'm doing in Teta FM. I said, is it ANC social organization or capitalist organization? Is it a socialist party or a capitalist party? He says, I don't remember. The response that he gave it to me says, ANC, it's not a socialist party. On air. So I don't think Manu will go to such, you know, but now you will go to EFF or to Areta because they are speaking one language.
Very same language.
Especially now it's sensitive because BRICS now, it's coming together, NATO, it's coming together, and then we will see that separation of power, we will see that choosing of political parties who support the ideology. And we have resources in the country. We've been seeing, we can see even today, these countries, they are looting our country in terms of national resources. We need to stand on our own. And it's only parties like EFF that will stand. Even Julius Malema today, he has a lot of enemies because of that ideology of his. You know, Areta is coming, speaking that language. We don't know that they will stand the test of time. Because in politics, it's not all about talking, it's about acting also. That you will stand for what you believe in. Yes.
Well, yeah, a wise man once said, black men, you're on your own. We definitely are on our own. So we just need to pull ourselves together, have one language, have one vision, have one ideology. And if that's the case, then probably there's a future for us and it will come right, you know.
Yeah, that was Steve Biko. That
Yeah.
was Steve Biko, and he died for that ideology.
Yeah.
Or to say, black man, you're on your own, because no one that was helping him.
Yeah.
Even through his death, the way he died, brutally as he died, but they don't remember him anymore. But all I can say, thank you very much for inviting me in Green Table. It's always happy. I'm always happy. It's always interesting. You ask difficult questions, and you know, but thank you very much.
Yeah, that's our rule here. But also thank you so much for honoring our invitation. And yeah, that's the episode that we have for you today. Until the next one, we'll keep on bringing that Alex back for his expert analysis in terms of the political sphere and everything. So keep on following the channel, Rich K.Mzansi Voice, subscribe, comment, tell us what you think with all that we have discussed today. Until you see you on the next episode.